So I'm back from the range from shooting the monstrous RP9 from Remington. To say, for all the terrible things that I heard, gun's not that bad at all. In fact, I enjoyed shooting it. I'll roll in the footage and let you guys decide for yourselves while I clean this thing up. Remington RP9, another one of the guns that I kind of skipped over when it came out, but I'm excited to see how it runs. Full mag plus one test, we got 18 rounds of Freedom Munitions 115 grain. There's our plus one. I'll top off the magazine. I will say it's very difficult to get that 18th round in there, so we'll find out what kind of luck we have. Ran flawlessly. So in the what's for dinner test, where we try different loads and different shaped bullets, for 9mm we'll be starting off with a heavy 165 grain subsonic from Hush, the Browning 147 grain, which is a snubby nose. Then we've got the 124 grain HST, very popular defensive load, an aluminum 115 grain, a steel case 115 grain, gold dot 115 grain hollow point. Then we move light for caliber, Hornady's Critical Defense Light. That short little oddly shaped thing is only 100 grains. The Winchester Super Clean is 90 grain using zinc core. Then we've got a Liberty 65 grain at a higher velocity and the Inceptor 65 grain at a lower velocity. Let's see what runs. With the super heavy subsonic 165 grain Hush from Freedom Munitions. 3 rounds as always. The first round, see if it picks up from the slide being back. Then 2 rounds of is there enough energy to cycle the slide, and the third round to see if it'll lock back. Ran just fine, didn't lock the slide back. That might have been me. My thumb lines up right perfectly with it. Next is the Browning 147 grain, the snub nose. 3 rounds. Could try to keep my thumb away from that slide lock. Ran just fine. 124 grain Federal HST, very popular hollow point these days. We did have one failure to feed. Blazer 115 grain aluminum case. Aluminum and steel, by the way, have potential to corrode. Also, there's a little more friction on the case. Aluminum expands more, steel expands less than brass. That's why some guns won't run with these. But the Remington ran just fine. Now some tool ammo, 115 grain steel case. Ran just fine. Spear Gold Dot 115 grain hollow point. Nickel plated casing. Runs just fine. Now we're moving into light for caliber. Hornady's Critical Defense Light. Short little snubby 100 grain bullet. See how it runs. And this very large 9mm handgun. Ran just fine. Winchester's 90 grain zinc core. Very lightweight. Also snub nose bullet. Ran just fine. Going ultralight for caliber, 65 grain Liberty Civil Trainer. And runs just fine. The 65 grain Inceptor RMP. This is the same weight as the Civil Liberty that Civil Trainer by Liberty we just shot. However, it is a slower bullet, so we have less energy to operate the gun. But it didn't matter. 5 shots from 7 yards using Nosler 115 grain match. So let me know what your thoughts are, having seen how it did. Gotta say, from all of the horror stories, etc., that were out there, I was expecting all kinds of problems. Didn't really experience them. I did notice, however, though, the exact same point that Military Arms Channel pointed out, and that is that the slide release on this side doesn't function. And that's because the metal in there is just too flimsy. The actual catch is happening over here. You can see it there. And it works just fine right there. So, that aside, not a terrible gun. Very pleasant to shoot. Nice large scale piece, very comfy for large hands. I just wish that a company like Remington would have done maybe a little better. But overall, a good gun. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching.